Coronavirus is spreading across India. Under these grim circumstances, different organizations are coming out to help people. One such organization is Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, that is ABVP, which is the students' arm of the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party. Today I have with me its National President Dr. S. Subbiah to talk about the organization's future plans. Dr. Subbiah, welcome to Monday Talk interview series of mine.
Namaste.
Namaste. So my first question is, ABVP is the world's largest student organization. So how it is helping people in this tough corona pandemic time?
Namaste. Before start, I will issue a clarification. Vidyarthi Parishad is not student wing of BJP.
Okay.
BJP has its own student wing. Vidyarthi Parishad was started in 1948, registered in 49, and working since then. And Johnson was started after 1950s.
Okay.
Bharatiya Janata Party was started in 1980. So we never claim ourselves as student wing of Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
Because we don't believe politics is the only ways and means of achieving national reconstruction, which is our aim.
Okay.
And in any जब भी देश के लिए आपत्ति होता है, संकट होता है, तब विद्यार्थी परिषद आगे आकर काम करने वाला संगठन है. In the present scenario also, immediately after lockdown has been announced by our Honorable Prime Minister, Vidyarthi Parishad workers spontaneously started working for society. It was very surprising to see that many of the girl students during lockdown, confined to their home, they started stitching cloth masks on their own and started distributing to all the needy people around their locality. It was very hard, it was a pleasant scenario. Without any instruction from the organization side, they started to help the society on their own. Starting from there, Vidyarthi Parishad has helped a lot, helping a lot, and will help in future also. Notably, lot of Northeast students who were held up at Bangalore, at Mumbai, at Chennai during lockdown, who have come there up to all these places for their academic purposes. Vidyarthi Parishad workers spontaneously and many times and sometimes at the request of Northeastern units of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad, they went to the residences of Northeastern students staying here, helped them with all rations and made them comfortable. This has been acknowledged by many chief ministers of Northeastern states, including notably Manipur chief minister. And Vidyarthi Parishad, in all places, wherever the migrant workers are crossing their states on the way to their native places, by traveling via Shramik Express, Vidyarthi Parishad workers started giving food and water for them. And Vidyarthi Parishad workers started spontaneously to work in red zones of Mumbai, particularly Thane, where Vidyarthi Parishad workers, with all precautions of pandemic, they themselves work as corona barriers. They work for detecting, they work for taking samples, and it has been widely acknowledged by many journalists, including some leftist-oriented journalists. all have appreciated Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. I think Barkadath also recently mentioned like that, I think. So Vidyarthi Parishad is throughout the country is working for society, number one. For students also, a lot of students are stressed out that they think their future is uncertain and they are very much bothered about their future education and the
Exams and all.
exams that are pending. So Vidyarthi Parishad started interacting with government, Ministry of HRD, and after long discussions, deliberations, UGC announced their timetable for next academic year. That's a big success of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. And even though it is not liked by many students, Vidyarthi Parishad never agreed that all students given a lump sum, en masse pass. Because education there should be a quality education. There is no point of a mere paper saying that you have got this degree or that degree.
Exactly.
So Vidyarthi Parishad insisted on conducting exams, even though it may not be in the formal way of earlier period. But Vidyarthi Parishad insisted that there should be an evaluation of knowledge acquired among the students. It is not a popular idea to have an exam. All were very thinking that very easy. It is very easy going when they don't have exam. When they will have mass pass in the exam. It was very attractive to them because students usually they don't think that much long into their career. But we Vidyarthi Parishad, as a responsible students organization, felt that no student should carry the tag of free pass into their future. Because it will come, the tag will come all their life.
Exactly. Exactly.
Anywhere in future, any competitive exam, any job application, there will be a question. Are you a en masse pass candidate or a actual pass candidate?
True.
They will realize now. And Vidyarthi Parishad का मांग है गुणवत्ता पूर्ण शिक्षा भारतीय दृष्टिकोण से. So गुणवत्ता means quality.
Exactly.
Without proper evaluation, how will they grade the students if you are going to give them all pass? And particularly in MBBS, we were evaluated for main subjects like medicine, surgery, and OG in final year only. If I am going to be given free pass in medicine, surgery, OG, I will be a gold medalist in anatomy. But medicine, surgery, if it's okay for you, I don't know medicine, I don't know surgery, I don't know gynecology, I don't know obstetrics, I will be a good. And will you accept to be treated by me? By an engineering graduate, where the main subjects will be evaluated in final semester? An agriculture graduate and a PhD, can you award a PhD without viva and thesis and evaluation? It's just imagination, but we Vidyarthi Parishad demanded exams to be conducted. Not in the formal way of earlier period. We thought there are umpteen number of online, offline modes, ways to assess the quality of education imparted to the student and his caliber. And Vidyarthi Parishad demanded that there should be some sort of evaluation method, even though it was not a popularly acceptable or popularly demanded thing. So Vidyarthi Parishad proved itself to be a responsible students organization. We never behaved irresponsibly and we never demanded mass pass for all students. And Vidyarthi Parishad, and recently Vidyarthi Parishad has contacted in 2 days. Vidyarthi Parishad workers, around 53,000 workers have contacted more than 8.5 lakh students in 2 days and got feedback from them on exams, on their mental stress and the expectations of future, about everything. Vidyarthi Parishad workers, they got feedback from 8.5 lakh students. None of the students organization in the country can claim this way of functioning. So Vidyarthi Parishad is a responsible students organization. It rises to the occasion whenever there is a catastrophe, there is an accident or there is a natural calamity. Vidyarthi Parishad will rise to occasion. And I have seen Vidyarthi Parishad workers carrying dead bodies during tsunami in Tamil Nadu. I have seen without any pay, without anything, just motivation to work for nation. They have carried dead, decaying bodies on their shoulders. So Vidyarthi Parishad is there for society. The aim of Vidyarthi Parishad is to inculcate a sense of social service, a sense of national pride, a sense of nationalism among the students. That is the purpose of Vidyarthi Parishad, and Vidyarthi Parishad is acting on that continuously.
Okay, my second question is, how you see, as a national president of ABVP, a responsible organization, how you see the Prime Minister Modi's controlling of the entire corona pandemic?
Vidyarthi Parishad, as I already told you, it is not a political organization.
I got it. That's I got it.
Vidyarthi Parishad, from the very beginning, whenever any government is taking a right step, Vidyarthi Parishad has welcomed it. And any government, whenever it is on wrong side, Vidyarthi Parishad has
So how you see
opposed it.
So how you see PM?
I will come. And considering the statistics available with us, the lowest mortality of almost 0.4 per lakh population, when the rest of the world is having more than 4 per lakh population of mortality, and the lowest mortality of disease-specific mortality, less than 3%, when the other countries are having more than 6%. We feel overall the government has succeeded. Any government, leave alone Modi is, fortunately Modi is now Prime Minister. If this has been done by any other government, we will welcome it, number one. Number two, we have seen how the entire country was responding to the charisma of the Prime Minister. When he said, Talabandi, country accepted. We saw in note ban also, during note ban also, lot of people stood in the queues in front of ATMs when there was note ban was there. The same way, the country responded constructively, favorably to the demands to the instructions of Prime Minister. We feel that country is not, the whole society is not a fool. The whole society cannot be cheated by any gimmicks. And when we see the whole country is following the advices, following the dictats, and eagerly awaits for the Prime Minister to address them, I have seen my own friends, my own colleagues who are not Hindus. They also expect Modi ji when tomorrow the lockdown 2 is going to be over, when the Prime Minister will come, what will come from his mouth. And he has proved to be an extremely popular, good and effective leader. We accept that, we acknowledge that, we congratulate the Prime Minister.
Okay. My third question is, let's move away from the corona topic and let's talk about the JNU. How do you see the political situation in JNU in Delhi?
So, I start from my first answer. Number one, Vidyarthi Parishad is not a political organization. Number two, Vidyarthi Parishad doesn't believe in party politics and power politics. Number three, Vidyarthi Parishad never considers politics as the only ways and means of national reconstruction. But Vidyarthi Parishad feels that Vidyarthi Parishad has, as part of its activities, constructive activity, education activity. Along with that, we have our representative activity also. We encourage students to participate in student union elections, except from 1977 to 80, 3 years, Vidyarthi Parishad fought all student union elections. And Vidyarthi Parishad considers student union election as part of training to the students who are going to play a constructive role in all aspects of nation's life, including politics. But Vidyarthi Parishad doesn't believe that students, present day student union, contesting student union election, playing an active part in students union, contesting that, winning that, and performing their duty, it is not a way to enter politics. Vidyarthi Parishad encourages to contest, and Vidyarthi Parishad has won in winning student election, but that is to provide a leadership quality for students. That is to expose students for democratic behavior. That is to expose students to democratic norms. That is to expose students to to make them understand that they should work together, including opponents. So ABVP doesn't believe politics in campuses. At the same time, whenever there is an anti-national behavior of some students in any campus, whether it be Jadavpur, whether it is Pondicherry University, whether it is Madras University, or whether it is JNU, when there is a slogan Bharat Tere Tukade Tukade, Vidyarthi Parishad will never accept it, will never tolerate it, and Vidyarthi Parishad will demand the law to take its own course. Vidyarthi Parishad will never take law to its hand. So in that way, I feel it is wrong to say that there is some politics happening in JNU. From our side, I am very clear, we are not playing politics. We are not playing party politics. We are playing nationalist politics, we want to say. We want to encourage everyone who are ready to say Bharat Mata Ki Jai, Jai Hind, or whatever way it is. In Tamil, I can say Velga Bharatam, Valga Bharatam. In their own language, they can utilize, they can praise their motherland, but they should not say, even in the dream, a citizen of this country should not say Bharat Tere Tukade Tukade. Vidyarthi Parishad will fight tooth and nail against it. But that doesn't mean we are playing for politics. And JNU, unfortunately, you know better than me, things are happening, what things are happening. I feel with time, with our efforts, the things will change and everyone will understand. It is very easy to attract people by negative means. We are also easily attracted by hero playing negative role in cinema, you know. It is like once Confucius said, to grow a seed, to grow as a tree, it takes long time. And it is without any noise. But to a tree to fall down, it is very noisy and it will happen in seconds. So negative things very more attractive. We want to play positive role in national building.
Do you think that there is an increase in leftist mindset in the JNU?
I don't think there is any drastic increase. Probably the
And how we can, and my second related question is how we can control it.
So I don't think leftism is on rise. With glasnost and pedestrian, I am a student of, so I am in Vidyarthi Parishad in 1986. I am in Vidyarthi Parishad. We have seen the peak of communism when more than 2/3 of population of the entire world was controlled by communists. USA, China, many countries, Eastern European countries. And coming from those days, I have seen how communism failed, how the leftist ideology failed. And we don't think, I will never accept that leftist ideologies on rise. Probably they are exposing themselves more because now they are marginalized. Most of the countries have discarded communism as an ideology, except very few countries. They are also not following the proper communism per se. And probably because of fear, because of getting marginalized, getting pushed away from the campuses, they are making more noise. Probably they are making more noise. I will not accept that leftist ideologies on rise. Probably they are making more noise. And in Tamil there is a Palamoli, there is a saying, Nirai Gudam Talupadu, Kurai Gudam Kuttadu. In Hindi, half full part will be making a lot of noise. Like that, probably they are making a lot of noise because of their fear. And I don't feel leftism on rise. And our work is not to face or not to control leftism. People are ready to follow, ready to preach Sarva Dharma Samabhavana. That is the soul of this country. We never prevent anyone following any ideology. Our only thing is no ideology should go against society, against country. That is our feeling. And no ideology should play violent politics also, violence also. Within constitutional principles, within constitutional limits, In India, whatever ideology you want to pursue, you want to follow, you can follow. Our Vidyarthi Parishad aim is national reconstruction. Our aim is not fighting against particular ideology, but whenever whoever plays some anti-national politics in campuses, we will oppose it.
My last two questions. First one, universities and colleges are meant to impart education. So do you think that in these institutions we should encourage political activities or elections?
You are absolutely correct. Education institutions are meant for imparting education, inculcating values, imparting knowledge. No one can oppose it. No one can have any second thought on that. Vidyarthi Parishad never agrees that the idea that the education institutions are political place for political campaign, and Vidyarthi Parishad never plays politics. That is why Vidyarthi Parishad feels in educational family. In Vidyarthi Parishad, at all levels, starting from city unit to national unit, professors are its presidents. I am a college professor. I am a professor of surgical oncology in government medical college. That is why I am president of Vidyarthi Parishad. Vidyarthi Parishad never believes in raising slogans like principal down, down, faculty down, down, professor down, down. No, we are for constructive, collaborative activity for the purpose of reforms, reconstruction in educational field, and we feel that reforms and reconstruction in education field, along with Vyakti Nirman, that is making an ordinary student as a good citizen of this country, imparting good values, we feel that the country will, the national reconstruction will be benefited. So Vidyarthi Parishad accepts 100% with you. Campuses are not for political activity. Campuses are meant for education. Campuses are meant for imparting leadership qualities. Campuses are meant for imparting nationalism. Campuses are meant for imparting values, so that in future he or she will be a good citizen of the country, and he will be successful or she will be successful in any field, including political field of their choice.
Okay, my last question is, for a student or for a youth who comes out of university, he needs some profession to make his two ends meet. But now there are job opportunities less in the country. So how you see that?
Pardon you, can you repeat your question?
My last question is, when a student comes out of a university or from a degree college, he wants education to make his two ends meet. We all need money. But the job opportunities are going down in the country. How you see that?
Unfortunately, in this country, after arrival of foreigners and after Macaulay education, everyone feels that is very unfortunate. Education is, the sole purpose of education is not to help. Of course, education will help you to make money. Education should impart some skills in you. There is no second opinion. But education, the sole purpose of education is not to earn. If you accept that, what is the purpose of doing BA history, MA history? What is the purpose of doing BA Tamil, MA Tamil, or BA Hindi, or MA Hindi, or BA Malayalam, or MA Malayalam? Education is soul of any human being, I will say. If you are educated, you should be becoming more knowledgeable. You should be becoming more refined. You should be becoming more capable. You should be becoming more skillful. And as a of education, even though it is not the sole purpose of education, as a byproduct of education, when you are more refined, when we are more skillful, when you are more oriented to the society, and when you are more knowledgeable, naturally you will get job. But jobs doesn't mean only government job. I have seen lot of software engineers working in banks. I have seen lot of agricultural graduates working in banks. They are bank managers. I have seen lot of engineers are as assessors, mere assessors. And so my point is, number one, the society should acknowledge that education should impart knowledge and skill. And getting a job depends on your own skills and knowledge. You consider me, I joined my MBBS. After MBBS, I became a doctor. But I came all the way. I have never paid a single paisa as capitation fees or bribe. I was full-timer of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad for a few years also. And I worked in rural areas for 5 years. I have walked 3 kilometers up and 3 kilometers down for primary health center to serve poor people. I have conducted 300 deliveries in rural underprivileged areas. Even after that, I finished my MS surgery. I finished my MCH in surgical oncology. Because of my ability, I am now a successful surgical oncologist in Tamil Nadu. I know many of the surgical oncologists, some of them may not be as skillful like me. They may not earn money as like me. And I may not earn a better skilled person. So, getting a job or earning is definitely getting just a degree. You can't expect a job. Job will be knowledge that the society should accept. And the government also ensure, the government and the academicians and the controlling authorities like UGC or higher education institutions or higher education controlling authorities, they should now realize that along with education, they should impart skills also in the students community. That is the demand of Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad. If I am going to do a bachelor degree in history, definitely that will not give me a job. So we feel that unfortunately between the pandemic came and the implementation of new education policies being delayed, but lot of things were set in new education policy where a lot of pages were they were speaking about skill development and a comprehensive education and a liberal education. We feel that the education institutions should impart along with knowledge some skills also in the students. And naturally, if that is done, students will be getting some job after the education. I am telling you, there is no dearth of jobs in this country. I am living in an apartment of 64 houses. My apartment complex needs a good manager of a decent salary. We are ready to get a person. My apartment complex needs a good plumber. My apartment complex needs a good electrician down the clock. My apartment complex needs a good housekeeping supervisor. Lot of like that. You consider any urban community of this country, metros of this country. I'm just example. I am talking about this apartment. Like that, lots and lots of job opportunities are there in this country. The problem is there is a big gap between skills imparted and the demand of the job givers. The job demands some skills. Every job demands some skills in that there is a big gap. If you are going to bridge that gap, along with imparting education, if you are successful in skills that are needed for the society, definitely the problem of unemployment will be coming down. And I don't want to go to this pagoda story because that will be wrongly understood and wrongly interpreted. In our society, the problem is everyone looks into every statement in political angle. That's the problem. I even now I am thinking, if during this pandemic era, it was not Narendra Modi's government, it was Congress government, what have I have done? What do I do? Mera Yogadan, I am telling you very clearly, even if it is not Narendra Modi's government, AVP would have collaborated with any government in the fight against pandemic. That's a responsible way of behaving. Unfortunately, in our country, people talk about politics in each and every aspect of life. Definitely, I feel as a surgical oncologist, as a medical personnel, as a common citizen, there are lots of job opportunities out there. Only thing is, educated person should be having a relevant skill. He should be reoriented in such a way that students are imparted good skills.
Okay, with this, we have come to the end of our interview. Note that you are a very successful and very helpful doctor, and we will have an interview of you regarding that traits of you very shortly. But despite having such a busy schedule, you took out time for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll meet soon.
Sure.